Hello everyone, welcome back to another Smart Money Sundays. Now today is 1st of April. Hope you guys are all well. Happy Easter for my Christian friends out there. I know I've been away, I've just been busy, I've been traveling as well, so just trying to enjoy enjoy a little vacation. And I'd say I've been away from the charts, but that'd be a lie. I've been on the charts every day. That's just the life of a trader. But I'm gonna jump right into the video as we always do with DXY. So DXY, let's jump on the lower time frames. Let me go on the daily. Right, so if you again recall from previous week's videos, there was this gap, this outlying gap at 102, right? And I did say price is gonna likely fill this gap before we see any movement in significant movement in price, and that's what basically we did, right? If you've seen from last few weeks outline, I didn't expect this gap to come and get filled, and it absolutely did, right to the T. It filled the gap. We had a deviation back above this range before we saw a resurgence back above, okay, to the highs of the range. Now, in terms of what I'm currently anticipating on the DXY, so there's basically two ideas I have, okay? One is that we come above into this level here, right? Because we do have another gap from the previous year that come and gets filled. Now, I'm more favorable for this idea because gaps, again, usually always come and get filled. So I'm more favorable for price to come into 106 before we see any major bearish PA. But price can also react from this level, which I believe we will get some turbulence from this level, and just push down from here also. Okay, now I'm more favorable of the first scenario, as I said, but what will likely happen is we're likely going to get some turbulence from this level, right? A range will likely occur, right? Create liquidity from this zone, and then price will likely push above, fill out that gap before we see a bearish push likely to come and target the $100 level again. That's sort of my idea when it comes to the DXY. Okay, I'm expecting to see some sort of bearish turbulence at 104, and then a surgence up to 106, fill that gap, and then we dump. So that's sort of the idea for DXY in the coming basically the coming weeks and the coming months. Okay, so with that idea in mind, let's carry on. So EU now. Haven't been trading FX as much recently, mainly been focused on crypto, as all members should know exactly why. But in terms of EU, now EU is very, very simple, okay? We had a bullish reaction from this particular level, which was previous demand. Price reacted well from it, gave us a pullback, came back into prominent supply, and then pushed back down. Now, what I'm basically anticipating now for EU is a bullish reaction from this zone, one last bullish push up into my main zone of interest, which starts from 10086 all the way up to this high of 1.094, right? Before I'll be looking for bearish confirmation to short this back down into my target of 1.06. Okay, that's sort of the idea I have currently for EU. All right, so I think in the next couple of weeks we'll see a scenario like this come into play. But if I go on to the lower time frames, now if I get rid of all this, let me push down onto the lower time frames. What I'll ideally be looking for now, today is Monday, Easter Monday. Again, it's a bank holiday for those who don't know, so do not be trading today. There's not enough liquidity to trade, so I don't recommend doing it. You'll just be throwing money away in essence. So what I'm basically be looking for is coming to tomorrow or likely Wednesday. Okay, I'll be looking for a sort of a push deeper into this point of reference, a deviation back above, look for low time frame confirmations to basically long into this zone here. Okay, and that's where I'll ideally be looking for lower time frame confirmations to short back down in the, for next week, okay, or the end of this week. Basically, that's sort of the idea. And if we start ranging here, then I'll wait for next week to start looking for short triggers. So look for short triggers in this zone. That'll be the most high probable scenario. But in terms of first half of the week, I'm looking for longs. Okay, so very, very simple idea, right? We want to be looking for, let me map it out like this. Look for longs, invalidation below this low. Look for longs into basically swing shorts. Okay, invalidation above this high. Very simple. And then where would my target be? Is going to be back into 1063 level. All right, so playing with the our analysis with our confluence of the DXY, expecting turbulence and some bearishness on DXY, which should give us a bullish push, and then bullishness into filling that gap on the DXY as I mapped out at 106 level. Okay, so basically the same idea I have on DXY is just brought back into illustrate on EU. All right, now let's move over to gold. Now, if you recall, I think for the previous few weeks on SM Sundays, I have been mapping out this gold position, and I said it would be a very high probability scenario, and we caught absolutely beautiful buys on it with nice tight stop losses, which absolutely played. I took out 90% of my profit at the 2150 level. Now price is at all-time highs. Okay, price is now at it's now in price discovery. So what I'm basically looking at for now is I'm looking for a price to pull back into a previous structure to look for longs. Now, I would not recommend longing as prices in price as gold is in price discovery. Okay, when an asset is in price discovery, it's a very stupid thing to do is to short. Okay, because price can just go parabolic. All right, it doesn't. There is no previous price action data for us to rely on for us to indicate or any levels to be respected. So price can basically do anything. Now the only thing I'd be looking for is buys, and the only way I'd be looking for buys if price comes back below into previous market structure, right? So if price dips back below into where the previous sells were, this is where I'd be looking for longing scenarios to long back into target previous highs and potentially have extended targets using Fibonacci tools, for example. Okay, so that's one ideal way I'll be looking to trade gold, only on pullbacks, and I'll only be looking for buys. Okay, the only way I'll be looking for sells if price breaks structure back down below and then respects resistance. Okay, and then I'll be looking for something like that. Okay, a deviation to occur and then to short it back down, but I don't think that's going to happen as we're in price discovery. As long as structure is held, we will likely see higher prices on gold, right? So yeah, that's sort of the idea I have on gold. Now let's move over to crypto, as crypto has been a majority of my focus this year. Now we've basically just been ranging. Okay, we have been ranging, and I think that is nothing's going to change if I get rid of all this. Now, I was looking for buys, and me and the team did buy when price came into this discounted level. We bought significant altcoins, which I shared exclusively with Pro Trader members and Premium Analysis members, and we all bought the dip. Now, I recommend the same thing. If price does come back below into the 60s, okay, I recommend buying the dip, right? Especially if it's before halving, right? Halving is in mid-April, so we still have about 2-3 weeks until halving. So if we do see that dip, do buy it. It will be very, very advantageous, because I think after halving we're likely going to see a new all-time high fairly quickly. So right now, in terms of what I'm looking for in terms of BTC, now if we go on the higher time frames, we just had the monthly and the quarterly candle closures, which closed absolutely bullish. Okay, you'll see we had price acceptance above 68k, right? Clear candle body closure. Now what I'm going to anticipate is a push, a small retracement, which is completely healthy, potentially into the 60k regions, before we just start ranging here. Okay, and I think that range is going to be very, very healthy, because price is just going to accumulate orders again until we are ready to go into expansion phase, to target the 100k level. Okay, so that's sort of the idea I have for BTC. Okay, because if you look at the quarterly candle closure as well, we had a clean quarterly candle closure above with acceptance above 68k. Now we just need to stay above this level. Now before that can occur, we anticipate to see a small correction, all right, in terms of a candle correction, before we just start ideally again ranging again before we see expansion. All right, it's very, very healthy, so don't get nervous. Right, when people are nervous, it's the most ideal time to buy. Okay, so that's sort of the idea when it comes to BTC. All right, want to be looking for buys below the 60k level. All right, if BTC offers that, please do be buying. Okay, and again, if a range occurs here, very simple, look to buy the range lows. Okay, and basically just let price range. All right, it's a good thing, and it'll let more orders be accumulated within this range. Again, especially if you see a deviation in this range, buy the fuck out of it. All right, you'll thank yourself in the coming months. Okay, so that's sort of the idea when it comes to BTC. All right, alts I'm not going to cover, as that's solely for premium members. If you guys are interested in that, links down in the description down below. But if you look at Ethereum is lagging BTC, which it usually does in the first half of the cycle. Now, what we're basically looking to target, now this target is now hit 3,500, which I mentioned. We've come in, fulfilled that level. Now the next level, right, is obviously previous all-time high, which has been hit on BTC, but hasn't been hit on any other major alts. So Ethereum is what I'm basically looking to come and break previous all-time high. Okay, so I'm going to anticipate the same sort of scenario to occur with BTC. We see a range occur, right? Again, we look to buy dips at the $3,200 region, and if we see any deviation back into the $2,700 region, that will be absolutely beautiful opportunity to buy and long back into all-time highs again. Okay, so that's sort of the idea I have for Ethereum, right? And that's sort of the idea I have on altcoins as well. All right, so we're not going to see Ethereum outperforming just yet, because you need to look at the Ethereum and BTC pairing to have a good understanding of when Ethereum is going to start outperforming BTC. And it's only going to happen, especially same thing with alts, that's only going to happen when we start to break out of Ethereum's previous all-time high. So once we hit price discovery is when we're really going to see mania and alt season, as they call it. So that's sort of the idea you want to be idea I have mapped out for crypto as a whole. Again, you want to be looking to buy any dips, no matter what people are saying. Okay, it's good to buy the fear in a bull market. Buy the range lows, especially if there's a big fuck off deviation. Even better, make sure you have cash on the sideline for these type of scenarios. Okay, you'll thank yourself in the coming months. But yeah, that's sort of the simple idea I have for crypto. Keep it plain and light. So with all that said and done, I hope you guys like this video. If you did, please do like and subscribe. And I'll make sure I have some new content coming out for you guys as well, besides the Smart Money, the SM Sunday series. But with all that said and done, I'll see you guys very soon. Bye bye.